Have you ever wondered what you would need to be able to start up making resin jewellery, making it your own business? Which many people do and have so much fun. So this video is going to cover what I think you're going to need as a beginner to start making resin jewellery. Now the first thing you're going to need is some good PPE. That is really important, and I've got a couple of videos where I mention that on, so I'm not going to harp on too much about this, but it's vital, and I will link that video at the end of this one to ensure that you get an understanding of why it's important to protect yourself against resin and resin fumes. The minimum you're going to need is some nitrile gloves and a good quality vapor mask that protects the whole face, and I use this all the time. Once you've got your PPE sorted out, then I would recommend a great jewellery resin. I think the J Diction ×3 UV resist is the best jewellery resin. It is amazing, really great UV resistance. You can make clear pieces with it, and it cures lovely and hard and is easy to work with. And if you buy this little kit, not only do you get 2 pieces of resin, you also get some jugs, a silicone mat to work on, and some nitrile gloves in there, as well as a mixer and a scraper if you want to do pictures. So it's well worth investing into. Brilliant resin, not overly expensive, and it works great. I will link it in the description below for you. There you go, J Diction. There's a little advert for you. Now, of course, the next thing you're going to need are moulds if you want to make jewellery. And I make a lot of jewellery, and I sell an awful lot of jewellery at craft fairs and places like that. I also give quite a lot away because I enjoy giving it away. Moulds aren't expensive. You don't need to buy the most expensive mould out there. Where I get my moulds from, they're great value. Now, moulds won't last forever because they do get damaged over time by using resin. So if you've not paid a lot of money for one, then you don't mind replacing it. But they will last a good amount of time. I make pendants, I make bracelets, I make earrings, as you've probably seen because I model quite a lot of earrings. I make these sorts of earrings, which are large earrings, other bits and pieces. Now, if all you want to do is this sort of stuff to start with to see how it goes, then that's fine. You don't really need to spend too much money on it. However, what I would recommend for you beginners is a good set of jewellery tools. Now, I had bought some cheap jewellery tools to start with, and they didn't last me very long. The handles either broke off or they weren't that good and they didn't stay sharp. So I invested in some better quality jewellery tools. I'm so glad I did. I have now been using these for years and they all still work really well. Again, I will list everything that I talk about in the description below to make it easy for you to find. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please boot that like button. It really does help my videos to get out there, and I really do appreciate it, beginners. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that really helps me as well, and it makes me happy. This is an example of some of the pendants I've made, and I do have a playlist that covers just resin jewellery, so if you want to check that out, you'll see how I made all these things in the videos on there. Some of these are, like, for instance, I've made charms, pendants, Halloween pendants, spooky. I made these with a set of earrings, some with dogs in, and I show you different techniques on how to do this that are actually quite easy but give you some great results. For example, this one. Love that technique, and you'll love how to do it. Very, very easy. To be able to make these things up and sell them as jewellery, what you're going to need is your jewellery tools, some push bails, because that's what you suspend the pendant on. Really great. Again, not expensive at all, but I love having those. Earring backs, if you want to make earrings. I have a big pot of those. And I make lots of earrings, as you probably know. Keychains, if you want to make some keychains. Jump rings. And of course, cord or chain. Now, to be honest, I sell most of my things on a cord because that seems to be the most popular. Although I do a few things on chains as well. And the other thing you'll need is some open back bezels, and you'll need damming tape for that. Or closed back bezels, which you don't need damming tape for. And I've got lots of videos on this as well. I have a kit coming out very soon on making resin jewellery, and it contains the resin and all the bits that you'll need. And also, you can make some shaker moulds with it as well. I'll link that kit in the description below if you'd like to take a look at it. And here are some other examples of bracelets, pendants and earrings that I've made, and I love this one. I love the quirky ones, and they're the ones that always seem to sell really quickly. And all I use for that is nail art. And you get loads of stuff with nail art. You get little sequins, you get these little fruit bits, you get these little seeds, lots of other sequins, this sort of stuff. You get glitter, you get press-on foils. There's so much you can get, and it is really good value as well. A lot of this stuff is a lot cheaper than going out and buying specialist resin stuff, and it works really well in resin. So get hold of some of that sort of stuff so you can quirky up your jewellery. Always remember though that whenever you make anything, this bit here is always going to be the back of the piece. So you work in reverse, because this bit here inside is the front of the piece. And if you've got a glossy finished mould, you'll get a glossy finished piece. If you've got a matte mould, you'll get a matte finished piece. But there's ways around that you can change it up. And the last thing I think you really must invest in, and again, it's not expensive, is some good quality mica powders and glitters and pigments. Because these make such a difference, and once you start getting experienced, you've played around with resin a few times, you'll start experimenting. Now, I make my own pigments, and I've got videos on that again. That's a titanium white pigment that I make, and it works brilliantly with resin. But I don't make my own glitters and mica powders. These are transparent pigments, and they work really nicely and give you some great effects as well. I love sparkly, as anyone who watches my channel will know, and these give great effects. They go a really long way as well, and the same with glitter. But if you're going to use glitter, I generally stick to fine glitter because it doesn't sink in the resin as much. But also, I do use some chunky glitter at times, and I place that around, as you'll probably see in some of my videos if you're going to check them out. So for me, that is what I think everybody needs. If you want to get hold of my kit, then I'll link that in the description below. But this isn't about me trying to sell my kit, although it is nice to be able to sell it because I do get a bit of commission on it. It's about really showing you don't need to spend a lot of money, play around with resin, see how you like it, and then see what your friends think of the pieces that you make. And then you'll get all those creative ideas, start making stuff, and then you'll start selling it, get hooked, and then end up living in a big mansion, hopefully, with a swimming pool and a lovely car. I'm waiting for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for all the information that I've given you today and shared with you, then the link for that is in the description below. It's really appreciated. I'll also list all of my members. There's lots of perks to being a member to my channel, including the Facebook group where we have a great time and have competitions and do lots of stuff and help each other. That link's in the description below. Be sure to check out my other crafting channel as well. I do lots of different arts and crafts on that channel. But please enjoy your resin. Check out the video that's coming up next. Take care. Enjoy your resin. Bye.